Welcome to my channel Echoes of Coin. Most people see the 1996 penny as just 1 cent. But what if I told you that some carry hidden errors and mint marks that can make them worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? Stay with me, because the secrets inside this ordinary-looking coin might shock you. The 1991 1-cent coin of the United States, commonly referred to as the Lincoln cent, stands as one of the most recognizable and widely circulated coins in modern American history. Struck at multiple mints including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, this coin represents not just a unit of currency, but also a symbol of continuity in the American monetary system. By 1991, the Lincoln cent had already been in production for more than 8 decades. Originally introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, its long-standing presence in everyday transactions, combined with subtle but important design and composition changes over the years, make the 1991 cent a fascinating study for numismatists, collectors, and historians alike. The obverse of the 1991 cent features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design first appeared in 1909 and has remained largely unchanged, cementing its place as one of the most enduring coin portraits in U.S. history. Brenner's profile of Lincoln captures a serious and reflective image of the 16th president, facing right, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1991 to the right. If struck at the Denver Mint, a small D mint mark appears below the date, and if struck at San Francisco for proof issues, an S is visible. Philadelphia issues from this year did not bear a mint mark, a tradition that continued until the mid-2010s when the Philadelphia P mark was introduced for cents. The reverse of the 1991 cent displays the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This reverse, created by Frank Gasparo, replaced the earlier wheat ears design that had graced the coin from 1909 to 1958. The memorial reverse carries not only architectural detail but also a small but meaningful element. If examined closely, one can see a tiny representation of the statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, making this coin one of the rare U.S. issues to depict the same individual on both sides. Surrounding the memorial are the inscriptions "United States of America" at the top, "E Pluribus Unum" just above the building, and 1 cent at the bottom. The symmetry and clarity of this design helped the Lincoln Memorial reverse endure until 2008, when it was retired in favor of the bicentennial and shield reverses that followed. By 1991, the composition of the 1-cent coin had already undergone a major transformation. From 1909 through 1982, cents were primarily composed of a bronze alloy consisting of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. However, rising copper prices in the late 1970s and early 1980s made production increasingly expensive. In 1982, the U.S. Mint shifted the composition to copper-plated zinc, with a core of 97.5% zinc and a thin plating of 2.5% copper to maintain the familiar appearance. Therefore, the 1991 cent is not a solid copper coin but rather a zinc-based piece, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 19 millimeters in diameter with a plain edge. This change had significant implications for collectors, as earlier pre-1982 cents retain a higher intrinsic metal value due to their copper content, while post-1982 cents like the 1991 issue are far less valuable in terms of metal content. The 1991 cent was minted in massive quantities, reflecting its role as the workhorse of American small change. Billions of coins were struck for circulation, ensuring their widespread availability across the United States. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of coins, while the Denver Mint also contributed large outputs, marked with the D mint mark. In addition to business strikes, the San Francisco Mint produced proof cents in limited numbers, primarily for inclusion in proof sets marketed to collectors. These proof cents were struck with polished dies and special planchets, resulting in mirror-like fields and frosted devices, offering a sharp contrast to the ordinary circulation strikes. The vast mintage numbers mean that the 1991 cent is generally common and easily found in circulation even decades later. However, certain varieties and errors from this year attract significant collector interest. For example, double die obverse or reverse varieties, off-center strikes, broad strikes, And coins with die cracks or cuds are all possibilities that can create collectible demand. High-grade examples, especially those certified as mint state 67 or higher by grading services like PCGS or NGC, can command premiums over face value. Proof cents with deep cameo contrast are also sought after, as they represent the highest quality strikes from that year. The 1991 cent also holds contextual significance within the broader economic and cultural landscape of the early 1990s. This was a period of transition in the United States, with the end of the Cold War, shifts in global trade, and technological advancements reshaping daily life. Despite such changes, the humble penny remained a constant fixture in pocket change, symbolizing both stability and tradition. Critics of the cent, however, had already begun arguing that the coin cost more to produce than its face value, sparking debates about whether the penny should be discontinued. Such debates continue into the present, yet the cent remains in production, partly because of its symbolic importance and public attachment. For collectors, the 1991 cent is an accessible entry point into numismatics. Its commonality makes it easy for beginners to acquire, while the pursuit of high-grade or error examples can challenge more advanced collectors. It also serves as a teaching tool, demonstrating how to distinguish mint marks, evaluate strike quality, and understand the importance of coin composition. For example, a novice might learn the difference between copper and zinc cents by weighing a coin from 1981 against a 1991 cent, noticing the reduced weight and slightly different ring when dropped. Such small details connect collectors to the material reality of coinage, deepening appreciation for an object often overlooked in everyday life. The Lincoln Cent series as a whole is one of the most widely collected coin series in the United States, partly because it has been in continuous production since 1909. Collectors often strive to build complete date and mint mark sets, spanning more than a century of issues. Within this context, the 1991 cent fills an essential slot, and while it may not be rare, its presence is necessary for completion. For those assembling proof sets, the 1991 proof cent adds another dimension, representing the premium strikes available only to collectors at the time. The longevity of the Lincoln portrait and the memorial reverse also tie the 1991 issue to a broader historical narrative, bridging past and present within a small, tangible artifact. Another factor worth considering is the durability of the zinc composition. While copper cents are more resistant to corrosion, zinc cents are notorious for developing bubbles, spots, or even rot if the copper plating is breached. Collectors often encounter 1991 cents with such imperfections, making pristine examples more desirable. This adds a preservation challenge, as collectors must take care to store coins properly to prevent environmental damage. Capsules, flips, or albums designed for long-term storage become essential tools in protecting coins like the 1991 cent from deterioration. In terms of market value, the 1991 cent in circulated condition generally carries only face value due to its enormous mintage. However, uncirculated examples in high grades, especially those graded MS67 red or better, can fetch notable prices. Red cents, meaning those with full original copper luster, are preferred over brown or red-brown examples, which show signs of oxidation. Proof cents with deep cameo contrast are also valuable, as they showcase the artistry of the coin in its highest form. Collectors often compete for these top-graded coins in auctions, sometimes driving prices to surprising levels despite the common nature of the issue. The 1996 1-cent coin of the United States, widely recognized as part of the Lincoln Cent series, carries on the legacy of one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. By 1996, the Lincoln Cent had already been in circulation for 87 years, having been first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The cent remained the most familiar coin to Americans, not only because of its high mintage numbers but also because of the enduring presence of Lincoln's image on the obverse, a symbol of continuity and national memory. The 1996 cent represents a modern issue within this long series, struck during a time when debates about the relevance of the penny and the costs of its production were becoming more prominent. The obverse design of the 1996 cent continued to feature Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which had become one of the most iconic images in American coinage. Lincoln's profile faces right, with the motto "In God We Trust" above his head, the word "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1996 to the right. Mint marks for the Denver and San Francisco mints appear below the date, while the Philadelphia Mint struck coins without a mint mark. This portrait had endured nearly unchanged since 1909, making it one of the most recognizable and longest-lasting coin designs in the world. The portrait's sharp detail and dignified appearance reflected Lincoln's stature as a unifying figure, and its continued use in 1996 reinforced the connection between American history and everyday life. The reverse of the 1996 cent displayed the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design, created by Frank Gasparo, replaced the earlier wheat reverse that had adorned the cent from 1909 through 1958. The Lincoln Memorial design depicts the neoclassical monument in Washington, D.C., with its columns and steps rendered in precise detail. Above the building appear the words United States of America, with the Latin motto E pluribus unum inscribed just above the memorial itself. The denomination 1 cent is placed below the memorial. One of the most remarkable aspects of this reverse is the inclusion of a small depiction of the seated Lincoln statue inside the memorial, visible with magnification. This detail made the Lincoln cent unique as the only U.S. coin to depict the same individual on both the obverse and reverse at the same time. By 1996, the composition of the cent had long since changed from the original bronze alloy to a copper-plated zinc format. The shift occurred in 1982, when rising copper prices made the production of bronze cents uneconomical. From that year onward, cents were struck with a core of 97.5% zinc and a thin outer layer of 2.5% copper to maintain the coin's familiar reddish appearance. The 1996 cent therefore weighed 2.5 grams and measured 19 millimeters in diameter, with a plain edge. While visually similar to earlier copper-based cents, the zinc-based cents were less durable in the long term, as exposure to moisture or damage to the plating could lead to corrosion or bubbling. Collectors of 1996 cents are often mindful of this issue, seeking well-preserved examples with smooth surfaces and intact copper plating. The U.S. Mint produced the 1996 cent in very large numbers to meet the ongoing demand for small-denomination coinage. Billions of these coins were struck across the Philadelphia and Denver mints, while the San Francisco Mint contributed proof cents for collectors. The Philadelphia Mint coins bore no mint mark, the Denver coins carried a D mint mark, and the San Francisco proof cents bore an S. Proof cents struck at San Francisco were made with highly polished dies and specially prepared planchets, resulting in sharp details, mirror-like fields, and frosted designs that stood out in contrast. These proof coins were primarily sold in proof sets, which were popular among collectors who sought high-quality examples of each denomination for a given year. Because of their massive mintage numbers, the 1996 cent is extremely common in circulation and carries only face value in worn condition. However, numismatists often pursue examples in high mint state grades or with notable errors. Mint state coins with full original luster and a bright red appearance are the most desirable, especially those graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC. Error coins from 1996 also generate collector interest, including double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and broad strikes. Some of these errors are relatively rare and can sell for significant premiums over the coin's face value. The 1996 cent must also be understood in the broader context of the 1990s, a decade of technological and cultural transformation in the United States. While society was moving toward digital innovations, the cent remained a familiar and tangible object that represented everyday commerce. Despite inflation reducing its practical purchasing power, the penny continued to circulate, serving both as a tool of exchange and a symbol of tradition. At the same time, public debate about the usefulness of the cent was growing. Critics argued that producing the coin cost more than 1 cent, making it economically inefficient, while supporters pointed to its symbolic value and its role in maintaining consistent pricing structures. The 1996 cent embodies this tension, standing as both a functional currency and a cultural artifact. For collectors, the 1996 cent provides both accessibility and challenge. On one hand, Circulated examples are abundant and inexpensive, making it an easy coin for beginners to acquire. On the other hand, finding pristine, uncirculated coins with full red luster can be more difficult, especially as zinc-based cents are prone to environmental damage. Proof examples from the San Francisco Mint offer an additional collecting avenue, with deep cameo contrast pieces being particularly prized. Collectors often seek to assemble full date and mint mark sets of Lincoln cents, and the 1996 issue represents one piece of a much larger puzzle stretching back to 1909. Its role in completing such sets ensures that it remains relevant to numismatics even though it is not rare in circulation. The durability issues associated with copper-plated zinc coins like the 1996 cent also present an interesting challenge for long-term preservation. Unlike the earlier bronze cents, which tend to age more gracefully, zinc cents can develop unsightly spots, bubbling, or even complete corrosion if improperly stored. For this reason, collectors often take extra precautions when storing coins from this era, using airtight holders, archival quality flips, or coin albums designed to minimize exposure to air and moisture. The 1996 cent therefore highlights the importance of proper coin care, teaching collectors valuable lessons about the relationship between metal composition and preservation. High-grade examples of the 1996 cent occasionally appear at auction, where their value can exceed expectations given the coin's commonness. For example, a 1996 D cent graded MS-68 red can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars, as coins in such pristine condition are extremely rare. Proof coins with perfect grades and strong cameo contrast can also achieve impressive prices, particularly when certified by respected grading services. These market realities show how even the most ordinary of coins, when found in exceptional condition, can become highly valuable collectibles.